These are the conversations that are never fun to have, man. You know, and when you have a player that a lot of people are excited about, Mike Hall, and he's Northeast Ohio guy, and he ran into a lot of trouble yesterday. Not even yesterday, about the night before, about what had allegedly happened, and we need to be careful about saying there's a police report. He's been charged. He's entered a plea. He's posted bond. He's out. Waiting for more from the Browns today, which we will, I would assume, get some sort of follow-up statement or some sort of action from the Cleveland Browns about what happened with Mike Hall. But the seriousness of those allegations, it's a lot of questions, man. And there were a lot of questions about Mike Hall when he was coming out of Ohio State. There were reasons he was available for the Browns. They were at 54 to select. And Andrew Berry, we'll have that conversation. You know, I'm an Andrew Berry fan. I like Andrew Berry a lot. I think he's a really smart guy. He makes a lot of really good moves. But this is now a couple times in a row where you have taken a guy, specifically at the defensive tackle position, which is a little weird, that has character issues, and lo and behold, they don't even make it. I don't mean to put that on Mike Hall yet, because we don't know what's going to happen. Perrion Winfrey didn't make it here more than 2 years. Didn't make it here more than 2 years, right? Here we are. Here we are. You go back to the Deshaun Watson trade, whether or not you put that on Andrew Berry for, again, bringing a guy in with character issues, if that's how you want to surmise the whole thing. He's trying to build a roster. Did you waste a second-round pick? Will the Browns eventually get to the decision that they have no choice but to cut Mike Hall? And then I'm watching a second-round pick just implode and disappear. Is that where we're at in this whole situation? We got a lot to discuss with that. We do have Vikings in town starting their joint practices. Really interested. Chris Easterling, shout out to Chris. Akron Beacon Journal. He ran through the things that we're going to watch over Berea the next couple of days. So I want to run through his list. We'll get to that. We've got some kind of weird running back rankings from Morris Jones-Drew this morning. We'll get to that with Nick Chubb. Guards! Where's my John Kenzie Noel shirt? Get Cody on that. Big Christmas. My tweet popped off a little bit. Let's rename that porch the North Pole.
Yeah, I really like that.
Something about a baseball. It's white, snow,
a lot of
Noel, all of it, man.
Everybody on Twitter loved that one.
They did. They did. Let's rename that. The home run porch is what I call it. I know it's technically like the Miller Lite porch, or back when I was growing up, right? It was the Budweiser porch out there. Rename that the North Pole, because all he does is smack home runs that trickle out to the gateway over there with John Kenzie Noel. He gets it done. Matthew freaking Boyd, baby. All right. There we go. Big win for the Guards. We'll talk about them later, and we'll get to our wagers coming up for them as well. We got the bracket. Oh, I said the bracket. We don't have the bracket this week.
No, we do not.
I have 1,000 ideas for it. But we're going to skip the bracket this week. We'll get to the grid. We'll get to time up. We got the morning update. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. You can always be following on Twitter X at Matt Fontana. I am now verified, by the way. Thank you very much.
Today I
Tell
will.
Dave
today
to pay.
I will be.
Did Dave say he paid for it?
Yeah.
Okay. So shout out to Dave, one of our fearless leaders here at Big Play. And by the way, confirmed participant at our golf. Somebody tweets. A good friend of mine texted me. He goes, really need to confirm that Dave. Dave's a massive golfer. So it's not even a joke that Dave is like the founder of Big Play. It's that Dave is a massive golfer. You know, you really need to confirm that Dave was going to show up to your golf outing. So he is there. But Dave, we were doing the show. We were talking about, like, we're not verified. And Dave's like, I'll pay for it. I was like, listen, I ain't going to do that.
I'll be in the verification process.
Ryan, pay for Ryan's. So I think Dave is going to pay for Ryan. I am now verified. You can follow us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Ryan will be soon verified at Ryan Tyler 33. I am now verified at Matt Fontana 83.
You're re-verified.
Re-verified, I was. Yeah, I was. There's some awkwardness about going through that process again. About whatever. That's another story for another day. We're up on YouTube. I don't know if you can get verified on there, but we're trying for that. Twitch and then also Instagram. So obviously a very serious situation here with Mike Hall. And I want to start all of this conversation because there's a lot to unpack here. And I think a lot of people are having some conflicted thoughts on this. The one thing that is not conflicted is if he did what was alleged to have happened in that police report, he cannot play football for the Cleveland Browns ever again. I'm not saying that his career should be derailed, But there are some things in life that you are defined by momentary actions. When they are that serious, there needs to be serious repercussions. Now, this comes back to an NFL world and an athlete world where you are judged differently based on your talent. Mike Hall hadn't played a snap of real football in his life. Sorry, in the NFL. He's not even done that yet. But he's a second-round pick, all that other kind of stuff. Ryan, if that was a scrub backup linebacker, they'd have been cut yesterday.
Correct.
They'd have been cut an hour after that came out.
I would even say if it was a 5th, 6th round, 7th round pick.
Done.
Not to say names in this,
right.
but I'm just saying Juwan Briggs because he was a
Done.
7th round pick.
Done.
He would have been cut yesterday.
Absolutely done. So again, that is a negative thing that happens kind of even in society. People play by different sets of rules, right? The other thing that I don't want lost in this, again, the seriousness of what happened with this. This is a young man that needs help. This is very clearly a young man that needs help. Whether it's anger management issues, to have guns in that house. You know, Gab sent out a very sobering statistic yesterday. In domestic violence situations where there's a firearm, homicides go up by 500%. This young man did a horrible thing, allegedly. Can I drop the alleged? This is a police report. And somebody sent me the tweet about, oh, guilty until proven innocent. I'm just going to go what's in the police report, okay? And I'm going to go through it for everybody so we know. He needs help. Irrehensible what he did. And before I read this too, obviously I'm thinking a lot about the female in this situation. There were kids in that house. It's even more as now that I'm a father. There were kids in that house. And I'm getting emotional about it because of the trauma that they had to be subjected to. Not only potentially seeing their mother be dragged out of a house, the fact that a gun was pulled out and pointed at her. I hope those kids are young enough they don't remember. I hope that they don't have to deal with that trauma. Because of every little turn at this, of how horrible it is, the kids, man. I think about the kids and just how horrible that is. And that now, I again have now come to a point that you have no choice but to release Mike Hall. And if I were the Browns, this is how I would handle it. I would release him and say, we will continue to provide support. If he needs money for therapy, for classes, for anything, we will provide that from a support standpoint. But he cannot play football here anymore. And I don't take that lightly. I don't. But this is something that there's no question on this. There's absolutely no question on this. And the other problem in this whole thing is people inherently, what did we say yesterday? They get wrapped up in comparing it to Kareem Hunt or comparing it to Deshaun Watson or comparing it to any of the other bad things that people have done in the NFL. You can't do that. I've got to take this on a case-by-case basis. And I will not sit here and try to compare about what Kareem Hunt did versus that. If his finger slipped on that trigger, he would have killed somebody. He allegedly drug her across concrete out of the house. I'm not going to make this. You can't cut him. That's it. It's over. It's over. And we'll get to the conversation about Andrew Berry, how, again, there were issues with Mike Hall, supposedly character issues that have come out. Jason Lloyd had said that 1,000 times, that he has reporting there were other NFL teams took Mike Hall off the draft board. It didn't matter if he fell to the 6th round. They said, we're not taking him. There's issues there. Now, I sent this tweet yesterday. We all heard them. And I thought that maybe coming back to Northeast Ohio would help that. A support system, people around him some familiarity, when in reality, maybe going away was the right answer. And I don't know. No, maybe, could this have happened in Seattle? You never know, right? Like, there's just a horrible situation that could have happened in Cleveland. It could happen in San Francisco. It didn't matter where. Maybe this was inevitable to happen. But it comes back to Mike Hall. You had these things circled for him when he was coming out of the draft. Andrew Berry turned that aside. And okay, let me do this. I kept saying I was going to read the police report. Please let me do this, okay? Here we go. At approximately 11 o'clock on August 12th, the Avon Police Department received a call from the Lorain County 911 dispatch. The operator informed us a request for police had been made at redacted, address. The call was abruptly disconnected before further information could be gathered. However, the operator noted a yelling could be heard in the background prior to the disconnection. Upon calling back, the Avon dispatcher was able to speak with a female caller who reported a domestic situation. The caller identified a male individual, Michael Hall Jr., as the aggressor. She stated that Hall had pushed her daughter and struck her with a baby bottle. The caller confirmed the daughter was not injured and declined the need for an ambulance. As he continued, and again, this is like kind of piecing through of what happened. He apparently continued to scroll through her phone. She decided to lock it, suspecting that he was attempting to find something to argue about. She noted that Michael never permitted her to go through his phone, which contributed to her refusal to unlock hers. Michael's anger escalated. He began yelling at the woman and shouting profanities as "get the blank out." His behavior was described as insane, which she found particularly embarrassing in front of her mother. So again, this is the mother of Michael Hall's child. Her mother was in the house, and the kids were, or at least a kid. It sounded like multiple. Michael Hall then began going back and forth between the kitchen and the bedroom on the second floor, gathering her belongings and throwing them outside while continuing to demand that she leave. When she refused to leave the house, Michael attempted to physically force her out by pushing her from behind towards the door. Once they reached the front door, she sat down, bracing herself in an effort to prevent Michael from pushing her outside. Undeterred, Michael grabbed her by the feet and dragged her on her back across the porch and up to the end of down to the end of the driveway, reporting that her arms were scraped against the concrete during this time. Despite being outside, she got back into the house as her mother and the children were still inside. Upon seeing her back in the house, he reviewed his verbal assault, holding her, saying, "I told you to get the blank out." Fearing when Michael was about to strike her, she fled into her mother's first floor bedroom. He pursued her. Upon reaching the room, he pushed in the door, causing damage to the door frame, raised his fist as if to punch her, stopped when she pleaded, the kids," and at this point, began yelling at Michael to stop, which prompted him to leave the room and return to throwing her belongings outside. He then continued to shout at her, calling her an insult, before insisting he would handle the situation himself. Resumed throwing the belongings out the front door. She attempted to escape downstairs, but as she did, she encountered Michael coming up the stairs. He quickly diverted into the game room, or she diverted into the game room. He followed her and retrieved one of his 2 handguns. He pressed the firearm against her temple and threatened, "I will blanking end it all. I don't care." She could not identify which gun he had. He had 2. That's the police report. That's the alleged actions of what happened. I'm shocked the Browns have not released him yet. That can't happen, man. That just can't happen. And this is another situation where, is he still on the roster because he's are they still on the roster because they need confirmation of these type of things? I understand that. Trust me, I understand that you need to confirm. And sometimes you need to maybe wait for him to actually be charged with something. I'm not sorry. Not sorry. He was charged with something. He was charged with a felony. He pled not guilty, posted his bond, and he's free. Do the Browns need to wait for, and again, his next court date is not until September.
Right.
You might not actually get a verdict until next year. Could the Browns place him on the commissioner's restrict list or exemption list or something like that to wait until he is actually found guilty? Maybe hey, that's fine. That's fine. We need to wait to actually see exactly what. This paints a pretty, again, alleged picture of what happened here. They got to do something today. They have these joint practices, which he will not be out there. There's no way. And you're going to send Kevin Stefanski out there to answer a bunch of questions. The Browns have got to make a move. They either need to release him today or place him on this commissioner's exempt list to wait to see how this plays out. And there's a real good chance, at the minimum, Michael Hall does not play football this year. At the minimum. Again, you want to place him on that list to maybe to continue to help him, get him therapy, whatever he needs to understand the error of his ways. I'm not willing to all of a sudden just to condemn a young man. Again, this was horrific. I want no questions on that. This was absolutely horrific, and thank God he didn't hurt somebody. What can we do to help here? What can we do to make him understand this cannot happen? What can we do to move forward from this point? And I can understand the Browns saying, we don't want to just release him because we want to help him, right? Let's put him on this commissioner's exempt list, get him out for at least a season, and then we can figure out some things from there. But there's also a real reality. He's never going to play football again.
Yeah,
You know?
and I don't think he will, to be honest with you, and I don't think he should. You know, there's not many things, and I think you'll agree with me when I say this. There's not many things on this earth that me and you want more than it's the Browns to win a lot of games and to go to the Super Bowl and lift up that Lombardi, right? But you got to look at reality, right? There's bigger things than that. There's much bigger things than that, and family's one of them, and just being a good person is one of them. And you know, if he needs to get help, then that's the biggest priority there is for the Browns.
Absolutely.
And I find it interesting, right, is I wonder how the Browns navigate through this decision of, and I think they'll cut him, but when I say that, but this whole scenario of how much will they navigate it differently now that, you know, just 2 years ago you made one of the most public backlash moves in giving Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed. Like, you heard nationally, everybody hated that.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's still one of the most villainized people in the NFL.
Sure.
And he's the face of your franchise. Now you have another incident in this. Are you going to just nip that in the bud right away? I hope so.
I mean, again, this is a different regime, obviously, where I can go back and tell you about what Johnny Manziel was doing and Justin, you know what I mean? Like, there's, and that's the thing. For people that want to get all high and mighty about their NFL team, almost every single NFL team has had some sort of player come in and deal with things like this. And the thing is, it gets publicized because it's football, right? And because they're star athletes and things like that. It is so very unfortunate that how many people out there have maybe dealt with similar situations or gone through, you know what I mean? Like, it gets brought up in the news and the media of what these athletes do, when in reality, this is unfortunately part of our society, right? And there's a bigger question to be brought up about young people in these situations. What's Mike Hall? He's 22 years old. How much money did he just get, right? Like, all these things that factor into it. And then it just comes back to what, man? The guns. The guns. And I'm not one that'll ever sit here and talk to you about conservative versus liberal and gun control and things like that. My family owns guns. My brothers hunt. That's what happens, right? But we are responsible gun owners, right? And it's just this fascination, unfortunately, I think, with a young African-American culture, that it's cool to have guns. And it's all right. And again, I'm not knocking people for having them. And maybe not even Michael Hall. Did he take a class? Does he have certifications? Are they properly locked away? And then also, as one of the biggest things as a gun owner is to understand, don't ever go get it when you're angry. Don't ever do that. That is part of your training that you are supposed to take, which I would love to be mandated in a lot of states, by the way. I don't want to... that's political. I don't want to get into that. I want safety when it comes to guns. Banning them is not the answer, I'll tell you that. You need to get guns out of the hands of people that can't have them. How you do that, that's not my problem. Okay? Whatever. That fascination, like, that is just some stuff that it's just like, again, protection, hunting, sport. Like, again, there are people out there that enjoy having guns. Okay? That's fine. But they are responsible. They're locked away. And again, don't go get them when you're angry. That's one of the worst things in the world. And it's just an unfortunate reflection. I wish, it's like there was something we could do to understand. I'm not saying that you can't own it. You just have got to be freaking responsible with it, man. But he's a young man that's got all this money. I understand that it's hard. I'm not making any excuses for what he did at all. It sucks, man. I don't like this. And it's just like, I just continue to come back to, thank God nobody was killed. My heart to the steps of it, man, goes to those kids. That sucks.
Let me ask you this, Matt, because I know this is also a conflicting opinion on this unfortunate situation right now. Do you give the Browns the okay to not, come out and cut him right away until they go through this legal process, until they do their investigations, until they get the true,
they got to do something. No, they got to place him on that exempt list. Today, they have to do something with Mike Hall. They either need to cut him or put him on this commissioner's exempt list. He cannot be. And again, the problem is sometimes you cast people off when they need you the most. Was it Derek Carr? He's talking about Henry Ruggs, remember? And he goes, he actually needs to be loved right now. I want support around Michael Hall right now. He cannot be in that facility. He can't be around the team right now. He certainly is not going to practice today. They have got to do something. They either need to put him on that exempt list or they need to get him off the team. There are repercussions for your actions. And I obviously none of us have had a chance to talk to Michael Hall. Is he understanding of this? Like, are we starting from a base of, I don't think I did anything wrong? Or, oh my God, I need to make amends for this. I need to turn my life around. Let's start there, okay? And those have got to be conversations that Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski have to have. And I got to tell you, Ryan, that might even frame my decision. I would imagine at some point yesterday, they brought Michael Hall in and sat down. My first question to him would have been, are you remorseful for what happened? That answer would frame everything. And again, I need them to cut through the BS too. Don't lie. But are you truly remorseful and understand the consequences of your actions? And if he feels like somebody, yes, then okay, maybe it's time for a second. Not, again, we need to take steps to get there. We're not there yet. But you got to understand, is this a guy that's willing to understand and accept what he did?
Yeah, I think it's also
not because he got in trouble, but truly to his core to understand what I did was, like you used the word earlier, that's villainous. Mm-hmm. That is terrible of what he did.
Yeah, and I'm super glad I'm not in Andrew Berry's shoes because
it's not an easy spot.
It's not an easy spot, right? And it's easy from a guy like me and you and pretty much anybody that's not involved in the Browns organization, especially a guy whose literal job is to build the best team possible, right? It's easy for us to say, come out and cut him. And I agree. And I'm just wondering, I wonder how Andrew Berry is going to navigate that, right? Because he understands that the public just wants him cut, as he probably should be, right? But this is this guy's job. This is his livelihood of, my reputation in the NFL is based on making good draft picks and putting together the best team possible, right? And I wonder, does he still think he can turn this around with Mike Hall? And is that something that he thinks would be, he doesn't want to have this horrible blemish on his record of just you're cutting right away your second round pick, right? Well, I wonder how he is going through that. And does he get a little leeway? Do we allow him to think differently?
That was going to be our question this morning. And we got to frame this in the right way of, does this situation... Do you feel like this situation reflects poorly on Andrew Berry? I think that's kind of the way, that's the initial one that I came up with. Do you believe this Mike Hall situation reflects poorly on Andrew Berry? Because you could say yes, knowing that, hey man, this guy had these red flags coming out of college and you still drafted him. You could say yes, because it comes back to Perion Winfrey. It comes back to Deshaun Watson. Again, whether or not Andrew Berry was actually the one that made that trade or whatever, it's still on his record. Okay, fine. Or you could say no. And his job is to supplement the best team and draft the best players. And, that wears a little thin with me because you basically just detonated a second-round pick. You just took a second-round pick. You don't get that back.
And also not even a second-round pick, your first pick of the draft.
Right. At a position of need. And I get where the Browns sat there, and on paper they say, man, Mike Hall fits everything we need here. And maybe, and I'll leave room open for this too, maybe they sat down in those interviews and Mike Hall gave them every single answer they wanted to hear about his status or like his view, whatever. I don't know, man. However he needed to view that, maybe he gave them the right answers at the combine. Who knows? I have no idea. But Andrew Berry still made the pick, and you are pretty much at this point believing he is not going to be a part of your football team after not playing a snap of regular season football, potentially. Again, I'm going to leave the door open that they send him down on this commissioner's exempt list, and then that buys you some time. You can still get him some support and kind of help him out. There will be something that happens today. There will be something today about Mike Hall because they're not going to go out to this practice. He's certainly not going to be out there, and I don't think they want to leave Kevin Stefanski out there to dry and have to answer all these questions. They have player availability in like an hour. an hour and a half. And I think you would have, again, to save your player's ass. You know, I don't know who's going to speak today. 11:10, players are going to speak. Let's just say it's Myles Garrett. Do you really want Myles Garrett up there having to ask about it? No.
Right.
You want Joel Bitonio up there having to answer questions about it? Now, the smart thing will be they will put veteran good, like, dude, I've seen this for a lot of these. There are just players that when stuff's hitting the fan, you feel confident about putting them up there. Joel Bitonio is one. Myles Garrett is one. There are guys that just can handle that situation usually pretty well, and they can kind of put out some fire. So I'd imagine they might speak today. But again, I think the clock is ticking. I really think you will have some sort of statement or release or something from the Browns within the next hour, because you got an hour and a half before they start speaking out there in Berea. All right. That all being said, I know it's a hard subject to discuss. We got into a lot of things there. Our question is up. Do you think this situation reflects poorly on Andrew Berry? Do you think that? And I say that I saw a lot of that yesterday about people thinking that Andrew Berry continues to get passes. And I would say continues to get passes in what? Like, okay, he's missed some draft picks. I think most people were happy when you got Michael Hall. Like, that kind of worked out. But here's again, of all the issues that I have, but all this, dude, your second round pick was nothing. You know what I did yesterday, Ryan? I went to the draft order and I came up with all the guys, and these guys have not played snaps anywhere. But like, I look it up. You could add Malachi Corley. He was still there. Like, I shouldn't be doing that already. But again, you potentially have just taken your second round pick, your 54th overall pick, and lit it on fire because you wanted to turn a blind eye to it. You know what? That's unfair. That's unfair of me to say. And you want to know why? Maybe the Browns were very understanding of the red flags with Michael Hall, but felt like they could work through them with him, or felt like being in Northeast Ohio was going to help him. The players on this roster, what did we hear over and over and over again this offseason, other than the Aaron Donald comparisons? Don't forget about that. Dude, you know what I heard a lot of? Was it's good he's in this room. It's good that he's got veteran guys in that room. Now that we read between the lines, that was probably a lot of Dalvin Tomlinson and Shelby Harris trying to be like, bro, let us help you. Let us tell you how to be a pro. Let us help you figure this kind of stuff out. And it's like, you know, the sad thing is too, again, with how horrendous everything was, it's just like screaming to these young athletes, man, like you will literally flush your career away. Yeah. Literally. In a moment's notice. And it's like, it's hard because, like, dude, if I was judged on some of the things, like, obviously I never did anything like this when I was 22, but it's like, yes, you mature, you get older, all that kind of stuff. Like, people still judge me when I was 25 on RBI. You know, it's different, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, you ask him to mature, like, really fast with all this money, all this situation, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
And I understand that can be an insanely hard transition, and I couldn't imagine if just tomorrow, you know, I inherited.
How old are you, Ryan?
I'm 23.
How old are you?
23.
You're right there.
And if I inherited $1 million, would I act differently? Yeah, maybe I would. But you know what? At the end of the day, like,
I'm sorry, Michael Hall's 21 years old. Even more. You know what I mean? Like, even young.
In the NFL, like, having that God-gifted ability that you were talented enough and genetically gifted to play in the NFL, that's a privilege. You're playing a kid's game, and you're going to be now in the top 1% in terms of wealth, and you have a great chance of making not only the life for you, generational wealth we're talking about. Yeah. And not many people get that opportunity, and sorry, but if I don't care, like, it happens. But if you blow that, you blow it. I don't think you should ever play football in the NFL again.
Yeah, and we'll see. Again, I would very much imagine that there's going to be something coming out from the Browns here pretty soon. We'll see how that goes. Our Twitter question is up. Do you think that this situation reflects poorly on Andrew Berry? I've not cast my vote yet. I've not cast my vote on it. As angry as I am that you're going to basically lose the second round pick, again, with everything that happened, being angry about that, I'm going to vote no. Andrew Berry's job is to put the best players on that field. Now, again, the best ability is availability, and now you don't have Michael Hall's availability because of where everything went on. Michael Hall is still the one that allegedly committed these acts. Andrew Berry brought him in to try to foster the right environment for him. But these are situations that I cannot look at somebody else and blame them for someone else's actions. I cannot put that on Andrew Berry, that Michael Hall made the decisions that he made. Now, again, how they handle it from here is a reflection on Andrew Berry. And I will look at his draft record and say, yep, missed on Perrion Winfrey, and now maybe missed on Michael Hall, just as he missed on other guys for different reasons. And people might be saying, oh, there were red flags everywhere. You knew that. I understand it. I'm going to vote no. I don't think that's a reflection on Andrew Berry. That's me. Ryan? Sorry. I don't see any. You want the votes? 70-30. 70-30 people actually say no.
It certainly doesn't reflect anything good. That's
no,
for
I
sure,
get that. But it's like the question is, do you think that actually...
I think like, realistically, that's a question that is to be determined. Like you said, how Andrew Berry handles the situation. And I mean, I get it. Like, NFL GMs, part of your job is making risks.
Yeah.
And maybe taking picks that people thought weren't fixable, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, it was different for Andrew Berry, who you said maybe thought, right, as you've heard, him being in this room, him being back in Northeast Ohio, him being close back home to Streetsboro. The Browns had the opportunity to take that risk because they had the opportunity to bring him back home. Other teams didn't. So I understand that. And that is part of a GM, is making risky moves. I don't know. You're right.
Almost every team has had one. Go up
Michael
and
Hall
down.
that did the actions himself.
Yeah.
I guess right now I'll vote no.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's like there are very few teams out there that can sit there and say that they've never had a player that's done so. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I'm not here to compare or make levels and this and that and all that kind of stuff. Find me a team, because you probably can't. That's had to deal with something like that.
Like
you know what I mean? It's an unfortunate state of
your one misstep, your one finger slip from this being a national. It already kind of is a national story NFL wise, but it was that close to being a national story.
Seriously,
because somebody's mother, daughter, sister got killed.
Seriously. That's again, that's not for me to decide, but for Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, when they sit down with Mike Hall, does he truly understand what happened and how close that came? I hope so. All right, I want to turn the attention because we got a lot with the Vikings. This is a very serious subject. We'll wait to see with the Browns. We're going to keep updated on Twitter to see. But again, I would imagine, I don't think they're going to send their players out there to have to answer questions about this. So we will see how it goes. Again, following us at Matt Fontana Show, we'll see where it goes. All right, Vikings are in town today for joint practices. And I flipped over to Chris Easterling at Krabika Journal. Shout out to Chris. And he ran through his things to watch over the next couple of days in Berea with these joint practices. And again, big news out of Minnesota is that J.J. McCarthy is going to have this meniscus surgery. They don't know how long it's going to be. They're either going to get in there and have to trim his meniscus, which just sounds disgusting, and he'll be out a couple of weeks, or they need a full-on repair, and he's out the season. Is that not a little worried that your rookie quarterback, who's already a little bit of an older guy, now has a knee problem?
Yeah, I wonder how much he was going to play this year, though. I heard Darnold.
Here's the thing. You needed to start. I guess he's not that old. He's only 21. I thought he was like 23 or something like that. So he's only 21. But anyway, he's already got a knee problem. I would have started Darnold. Do you want to know what? And maybe I should patent this, Ryan, and I'll sell it to teams as this is your playbook for a rebuild. Are you ready for the playbook? Number 1, get into the top 10 and draft a quarterback. However you got to do that, whether it's a trade or tank your ass off, you get into the top 10 and you draft a quarterback. Step number 1. Step number 2, which again, these can be flip-flopped. Find a young offensive-minded head coach to pair with said quarterback. That's step 1 or step 2, however you want to do it. Okay, there you go. Step 3, rookie year, quarterback. Do not start them. I know you got examples of Joe Burrow and Tua and some of these guys like CJ Stroud that started out the gate and look at him go. Ryan, I'm not starting him, at least at the beginning of the season. Because I think that gap, that skill gap, is just, in the long run, I think you're better off. And you want to know why I think you're better off in the long run? We've seen guys come out and have great success. And I'm not putting this crap on CJ Stroud or Jalen Hurts or any of these other guys. But they come out and everything's going great, right? What happens when they hit adversity, though? Right. Do they have something to fall back onto? And some do and some don't. Some falter. What I would like is, dude, sit and learn. Sit and learn. Oh, step 3, sign a veteran quarterback that will teach this guy, this new quarterback. Sit him down. Dude, this is how you read this defense. This is how you do all this kind of stuff and all that. Start of the season, veteran quarterback starts. And I truly hate, and I think it's stupid when you have coaches go, well, the betterment of the team, and we got to prove to them and that goes, this team knows what the f*** is going on. What do you mean? Well, we need to provide this team with the best chance to win. No, you don't. No, you don't, okay? Even if your rookie is sitting there balling out, dude, we're going with the vet because we need to get this rookie up to speed. To everybody else in that room, if you want to be a part of our winning, you understand that rookie is a big part of it. We need to protect that investment. Shut the hell up. We are maybe losing a battle here to win the war, and that is finding our quarterback for the future. For the Minnesota Vikings, you start Sam Darnold. You always were going to. Now, the issue is if J.J. McCarthy is hurt, he's not getting practice reps. Right. He's not out there actually doing it. And then that gets to me to step 4 or 5 or my plan. I really haven't thought this through. Eventually, you do start them. Sometime middle of the way through the season, mop-up duty. Eventually, the veteran guy might get hurt. Then you put them in after a little acclimation period, and then you turn things over to him after year 1. That's what I would do. So I think they're fine with J.J. McCarthy if it's just this trim and he gets a couple weeks out. We'll see how it goes. So, again, big news with the Vikings. Here's Chris Easterling's list of things to watch in joint practices. I'll give you one guess what number 1 is.
Is it number 4?
How does Deshaun Watson look against another team? And I'm not knocking Chris because he's right. That's the biggest thing. What's been my issue? It's, yes, another team, but it's not full go. He's not getting tackled to the ground. We'll see. Number 2. This is a really interesting one. Can somebody at least temporarily protect Deshaun Watson at the left tackle spot? Chris writes, the Browns haven't said when exactly Jed Wills will be back and begin football activities as he comes back from the knee injuries that ended his season last November. That's left him with James Hudson primarily playing at left tackle, which is problematic. He only played 6 snaps against the Packers, gave up a sack on just 4 pass attempts. Hudson's also struggled in practice because he's got to go up against Myles Garrett every night. Now, again, what's one of 2 things? We're putting you out there to just basically throw you to the wolves, and hopefully you'll get better. We're just going to put you out there every single day against Myles, get your ass kicked, and hopefully it'll help you get better. Maybe it's not. Well, the Vikings, they do not have Danielle Hunter anymore, but they flipped because now they have Jonathan Grenard. Is it Greenard or Grenard?
I think it's Grenard.
I think it's Grenard. He's there. And then Dallas Turner, who I really like that pick for them out of Alabama. And again, they'll flip-flop, I'm sure, get one of those guys. You will have a formidable pass rush to practice against with James Hudson. That's number 2. Number 3, the matchup I think we're probably all watching, Ward, MJ, v. Justin Jefferson. Get those guys out there. You're going up against the elite. How well can they hold up against one another? Is it. That's it for Chris. Anything else to add to that list? So I guess it's pretty solid. You want to see what Deshaun Watson has against a real defense. You want to see what James Hudson is maybe doing there at left tackle. And more importantly, maybe it's the corners versus the wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, what else is there, really?
I mean,
besides watching grainy footage of Deshaun throwing, I don't know how much more I can really watch.
That's probably it. That's probably it. So I thought that list was pretty, I was trying to think. I'm like, is there anything else really? And it's kind of a good thing for the Cleveland Browns that they sit there where it is. Again, I would say avoid the fights. It's inevitable. They're going to happen. It's going to be a wide receiver. It's going to be a corner. And I know that there's this rule going around from Sean McVay that everybody has picked up. If you're a starter and you get into a fight, you play an entire preseason game. If you're a backup and you get into a fight, you don't play in the preseason game. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. At least if you start the fight. I want my guys defending each other, but it's like even if you get swung on, walk away. Walk away. Let them deal with their own crap. And I'm not going to look at you and say that you weren't man enough to stand up and all that kind of stuff. Walk the frick away. Walk away. But that's going to be another thing to watch here, Camp, and there's going to be one.
I think I predicted MJ and Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately how it's going to go. We'll get to running back rankings here in a second because we can go no further without talking about the guards. Jackenzie Noel, hell yeah.
It's a big boy.
Dude, there are a few guys like him that just when the bat touches the ball, it explodes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It explodes. And he's just got some of this raw power. Now, he has provided a thump there in the middle of the lineup. I don't want to tell you where my mind goes, man, about can you let Josh Naylor go? You know what I mean? Like, he's only been up here, what, a month?
Yeah.
But my mind starts to wander. He ain't going back down now. And he is now a borderline everyday player. The issue is, what is it going to be with John Kenzie Noel? He's going to strike out a lot. Like, what's he bat? I'll give you one guess. Have you looked this up? Do you know what John Kenzie Noel is batting right now? It's not as bad as I thought.
260?
256 or 265. You're right. 265. He's got 9 home runs. 32 games. He's got 9 home runs, 17 RBIs, batting 265.
I mean, that's not far down from Jose.
That's not. So Jose's batting 270 something. Now, home runs because of getting time and all that kind of stuff. I think you're almost at a point where you need to play him every day. And that might come at the sacrifice, which again, like, I want to get angry at David Fry for striking out when Jose was on third with 1 out. That's, I know it's not, trust me, you wasn't trying to strike out. And it's not like that's a cardinal rule in baseball, but Ryan, that's an ass kicker.
Yeah.
When you got a runner at third with 1 out and you strike out and you put all that pressure on Andres Jimenez, I didn't like that. But again, David Fry will have his moments. You got to keep, and I think they will, keep John Kent. Dude, there's a rocket ship that just took off here from Burke.
Really?
Like, dude, it was a private jet. And usually when I see the planes, they're like here. This one was like this. It was like gone, like fly. Somebody hit the gas there. That pilot needed to get somewhere fast. Sorry, I didn't mean to. My ADD kicked in there. But John Kenzie Noel, like, you almost got to play him every day, which is fine. You finally get a win. Dude, Matthew Boyd. And Justin Lada had a great tweet, or Lada, excuse me, had a tweet, a good one. Usually your command is the last thing to come back from Tommy John. And it seemed like he had it, man. Was it 6 strikeouts?
Yep.
Struck out the first guy you saw? I like that.
Yeah, I mean, all we've been
what
asking for from these guys, right, is give me 6 innings. I know he didn't give you 6 innings, but he was damn close.
Damn close.
And that's what you're asking for, right? Because that's what you lacked with Logan Allen. That's what you lacked with Tristan McKenzie. They couldn't even get you 6 innings, right? And as good as our bullpen has been and as good as they project to be, all you need is 6 innings.
I'm not yelling at you. Do not freaking tell me that Emmanuel Clase should not win that Cy Young.
It's up there.
Okay,
it's up there.
Seriously.
It's up there.
Is he not
What happened to he wasn't playing?
the most important pitcher to any team? I'm sorry. Is Tariq Skubal on a team that is going to make the playoffs? Don't think so. This is also, I actually think, a chance that this is lining up kind of well because there is no run. Okay, Corbin Burns, 2.7 ERA, but he doesn't have the wins. Tariq Skubal, 2.5 ERA. He's got 14 wins. Right, he's not even going to get to 20 wins.
Yeah, no, I mean, if Clase goes, if he maybe 1 blown save, but if he goes for
4
sure.
days in a row.
If he goes the rest of the season, 0 blown saves, and the Guardians are the 1 seed, it's undeniable.
Then I see these stats about him and Mariano Rivera, and he's doing. I'm gonna see if I can find this one. Shout out to Luke Pataski. I know Luke and his brother.
Dude, what do you think Clase's odds were?
Oh, plus
A bajillion?
No, because it was feasible.
But as
So
a
I would
closer?
imagine plus 10,000 probably, plus 7,500, something like that.
Well, I guess I can Google it.
Yeah,
huh?
Google it. I always get Luke and his brother confused. Oh no, Luke had it. Okay, he joined. So Manuel Clase joined Zach Britton as the only players, I'm assuming in baseball history, to have an ERA of .65 or lower and 35 saves through the first 120 games of a season. Then he joined Shigetoshi Hasegawa back in 2003 as the only pitchers with a 6.65 ERA or lower through 55 innings pitched through the first 120 games of a season. So, again, with the fact that he pitched 4 days in a row now, of all these things, like, I don't know if he'll win it. I think that there's actually an opening for it because the 2 best pitchers in the American League, I'll give you the 3. It's probably Tariq Skubal, it's Corbin Burns, And I think Seth Lugo has kind of fallen off a little bit.
Well, you're not going to like this, but the first article I clicked on, updated today. They have
Cy Young odds or Cy Young like power rankings.
Cy Young odds, yes.
Okay,
Emmanuel Clase's 9.
Scooble, Seth Lugo, Corbin Burns. Is Logan Gilbert ahead of him?
4.
Ronel Blanco.
No, he's 13.
Okay.
There's another. Oh wait, no, I'm tripping. Oh yeah, there's another.
Tanner Houck.
Tanner Houck's 14.
Okay, so right there, Tyler Anderson.
No.
Oh, really? Who are the guys ahead of him then?
George Kirby's 5. Mariners. Cole Reagan's Royals is 6.
Oh, they love them some Cole Reagan.
Frambeer Valdez is 7.
Okay.
And Luis Castillo. Yeah. They're all above Clase A.
None of these guys. Isn't this insane how pitching has become too? That the league leader, middle of August, only has 14 wins. That's it. Now, again, I should say I shouldn't put too much sauce on that. That there is a chance that Tariq Skubal gets to 20 wins. But what is that point? He plays on a bad baseball team. He is 14-4 with a 2.5 ERA. Let me look at this up.
Well, you're right. It's plus 10,000 odds for the preseason.
Before the season?
Clase A.
I know a little bit. I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit. All right, you ready for this? Last year, Garrett Cole won the Cy Young. He went 15-4 with a 2.6 ERA. Blake Snell, I just want to say to AL.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin Verlander, 2022, 18-4 with a 1.7 ERA.
That's disgusting.
Robbie Ray in 2021, because again, I'm pretty sure Robbie Ray went 13-7 with a 2.8 ERA and won the Cy Young. Because I was going to say, wasn't that the year that nobody felt like they should win it? He beat it over Garrett Cole and Lance Lynn. Ugh.
Lance Lynn.
WAR. Even if you want to look at WAR, like 7, 5, 6, whatever. You want Shane Bieber, I ain't going to rip because he won in 2020 with the COVID, all that kind of stuff. Verlander back in... See, this is my craziest thing. Here we go. 2019. Justin Verlander went 21-6. Blake Snell in 2018 for the Rays, 21-5. Corey Kluber in 17, 18-4 with a 2.2 ERA. I'm looking at it to say you should be 18 to 20 wins. And again, Tariq Skubal will probably get there. But then I would like some sort of sub-2 ERA, right? Or at least a 2.2 ERA. Can he get there? I guess. We got to see how it goes. But then he plays on a bad team. I'm trying to find the window for Emmanuel Clase to win the Cy Young. When's the last reliever to win a Cy Young?
Oh, Bruce told me this. I forget his name.
He wore glasses. He's a rec spec guy.
Doesn't help me.
Dodgers.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Good call. Eric Gagne.
Who?
You don't know who Eric Gagne is?
No.
I loved Eric Gagne. He's specs. He had a beard. He was just a mean mugging son of a gun. Let me see. That was 2003. You know Bartolo Colon won a Cy Young?
Did he?
Yeah. That's just, we are just so... Eric Gagne, 2003 Dodgers. 55 saves with a 1.2 ERA. So let's do that. You assume, I do think Clase's got to get to 50 saves. And that might be a hard ask. What's he at, 37? 13 to go? Okay. Let's do this. These are the guys that Eric Gagne beat the last time that a reliever won the Cy Young. He beat Jason Schmidt. And by the way, this wasn't even close. Gagne won with 91% of the votes. He ran away with this, okay? Jason Schmidt, who finished second, went 17-5 with a 2.3 ERA. Mark Pryor, who finished third, went 18-6 with a 2.4 ERA, and Russ Ortiz of the Braves finished fourth. He had a league-high 21 wins, but he had a 3.8 ERA. So you get what I'm saying? Like, Pryor and Schmidt, like had solid years, but again, of my threshold of 2.2 or lower on the ERA and at least 18, like they had that, but they didn't blow it away. There's where you open things up with Eric Gagne. He had 55 saves in 77 games, but what I'm trying to see is how many blown saves he had that year.
Mike Hall is in the building at Cross Country Mortgage Campus this morning, according to Mary Kay.
Okay, I'm sure he's got to just meet with the team. I'm sure he's meeting with I would say yes, the Haslams, JW, they need to be meeting with him. Okay. All right, there you go. There you go. Well, I mean, again, Gagne had 3 losses, so if you count those as the blown saves. I think it's open. I think it's available. I think it's insane that he pitched. I think it's insane that he pitched 4 days in a row to get the save. You know, and it's funny, Mike has a great tweet, too, that Bob Fell would be rolling over his grave looking at some of these statistics where it's only become a 5-6 inning game. Mike, I'm with you, man, where it's like 20 wins used to be just a mark. Now nobody gets there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
ERAs are at 3.5 and all. And I think there's a little change because we'll get to it in time up about getting rid of the shift and some of that other bull crap that they had going on. But yeah, Mike, you're right. Remember, their 30 wins was not out of the realm for starting pitchers. You know, I grew up with Pedro, Roger Clemens. Let me pull up Roger Clemens for you a second just to make you feel a little different about today's era. Let me do this. Career, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it's not that many. 6 times in Roger Clemens' career did he have 20 wins or more.
Yeah, but still.
But then 18, 17, you know what I mean? Like 18, it's just a different era. It's a different era. I do think the door opens up that, like, okay, would you say, I'm sorry, can you go back to those odds? Is Tariq Skubal the favorite?
Yes.
Okay.
He's minus 325.
Jesus. So he's going to win. Because the other thing, too, now they created this reliever award, and they'll give that to him. You know, Emmanuel, there's no question on that. Like, is Cy Young the best? Same thing with the MVP in football. Is the best quarterback? Is the best player?
Right.
Is Cy Young the best starting pitcher or the best pitcher? Because the best pitcher is Emmanuel Clase. That guy is unfreaking hittable. You want to do this?
Yeah.
You want to do this? Hang on. Where's my advanced stats in this? Well, okay, WAR is hard because it always will go towards the starting pitchers. But how about this? Emmanuel Clase's WAR is 3.4. That's the same as Garrett Crochet. It's 0.2 behind Cole Reagan's. The only reliever ahead of him is Tanner Scott at a 3.7. Of the top 30 pitchers in WAR, there's only 3 of them that are relievers, and Emmanuel Clase is one of them. What I was trying to look up, though, but I don't see it here, is batting average against. Because I would, again, have to imagine. Hang on. MLB.
Oh, that's got to be sub 120.
Oh, no. Against.
His ERA is 0.64.
Hang on. I don't need the glossary. I know what batting average is. 2024. I don't want team pitching. Leaders. See, again, I don't want team. I want individuals. I want individual play. Hang on, wait.
Are you in Baseball Savant?
No, I'm on MLB.com.
So wait, what do you want?
Oh wait, I got it. Player. Okay, I got it. OPS. Average. Oh no, that's. Oh my God, I'm screwing this up. Hang on. Year to date. No. Pitching. We're getting there. Average against this season.
Would that be XBA?
No, that's extra base hits.
Oh.
Average against, but these are just starters. Like Ronel Blanco is at a. Oh, let's do this. Ronel Blanco, Luis Gil, Hunter Green are at 185, 183. And I'm just going to go all players because now it's like 0.0, you know, stuff like that. What's Emmanuel Clase's average against? I guess it's gone up a little. I thought it was like 0.95 or something like that.
Are you sure XBA's extra base hits?
Yes.
Then
1,000%.
No way.
Why? Is it a percentage number? Manuel Clase is a 156. So I guess he's a little behind some of these other guys. Actually, no, qualified pitchers, man. I think he's right there. Anyway, I'm sorry. What?
Because it says XBA.
It's usually extra base hits.
There's no way.
2-1.
221. 0.221. XBA.
Extra base hits per 9 pitched, probably. Can you highlight over top and it'll explain it to you?
No.
No? Yeah, it might be extra base hits for every 9, which again, that's over 9 outings. He's given up one extra base hit. That's pretty damn good. Maybe, I don't know. XBA is usually just extra base hits. Wait, is it XBA?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Are you thinking of XBH?
Well, yeah, that would be extra base hits. I don't know what XBA is. XBA. Expected batting average. It's a StatCast metric that measures the likelihood that a batted ball results in a hit. It's calculated by exit velocity, launch angle, and sprint speed. So it's basically like you hit a ball good enough to be a base hit, but somebody like robbed it from you or something like that. It was still good enough to be a hit. That's expected batting average. So what is it for him?
221.
Okay, so they're saying that even though he's really pitching to a 1.63 batting average, expected is more like 2.2.
Okay.
Great. Okay, fine. He should be giving up more hits maybe than he is. Maybe you give a little bit of Andrus-Semitic credit for that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's do this. Catch our first break of the morning coming up. I've got this running back ranking that I want to get to, and the biggest news is that Michael Hall is in the building out there in Berea. Okay. I don't think there's any way you let him practice today. No matter what happens, it's just a bad situation. And I don't know, you want this to be a quick thing because you are in a PR battle here, so to speak. But you also need to understand that there's a legal side to this that, it's not an easy decision of what Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are going to do today. I think the easiest way out on this whole thing is to place him on this exempt list for today and moving forward and figure it out from there. Let this legal process play out, and if he can't play football for you there, that's fine. Because again, you cut him and release him, he's not part of your team anymore. You basically give up your he can't play. You put him on this exempt list, you can pull him off, he can play football for you again. I think he's lost the privilege to do that personally, and maybe he can regain that. But I think that's probably the out for today. So again, he's in the building. We'll see as we get ready to go for practice, which is coming up. Player availability is about an hour. We'll get to that. Ryan's got all the stories you need to know with the morning update. We'll do the grid again today. We'll dive in a little bit of time hop. We got it all for you right here on Big Play, including our 2024 golf outing.
Way to count.
Yeah, thanks. I almost said 3 because it's on August 31st. But you can come on out and join us at Little Mountain. We're all going to be there. Gab, Hanford, the Williams boys, Reflog, Padone, me, Ryan, the Cribs. Dave is now confirmed. Not a golf outing Dave wants to miss.
Do we get confirmed?
I'm waiting for our tweet, to be honest with you. Where's the tweet that Ryan and I are confirmed?
Why don't they want us?
I don't know. I'll tell everybody, hey, folks, I'm confirmed. I will be there on August 31st. 1 o'clock start. Registration starts at 12. You've got the food. You've got garage beer. You get lunch. You get dinner. You get to hang out with us. It's going to be, and I already ordered the weather up. Went to Temu. I said that. We got good weather that day. I know it. And we'll be out there having a lot of fun. 2 things. Foursomes are available. $1,000 for a group. $250 a golfer. For all of that, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Then we want your charity activations. If you work with a charity or you know a charity, we'd love to have you out on the course. So you can be out on the course on a hole. You can be set up, ready to go, and we'll provide you with a prize. We'll provide you with a prize to be able to help you out, raise as much money as you can. Go to bigplay.com. Just go to bigplay.com. You'll see the Eventbrite page for the foursomes, for the outing, and you got a chance to go golf with Hanford. You got a chance to go golf with Blake and Greg. Dude, dude, Ryan, I know you've played in outings before too. You want to go, you want to shoot a score. Bro, I want to light a cigar up. I want to crack some garage beers, and I want to have some damn fun. How much fun could you have with Hanford?
True.
Talking about Brown's stories of the past. How much fun would you have with Blake and Greg sitting there talking football? It's going to be a lot of fun. BigPlay.com. Get your foursome today, and we'll see you out there. You want to golf with us? Make that happen.
Marshall in the chat said 156. I don't know if that's – I think he might be referring to opponent batting average against Class A.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, did you figure that out?
No, I found that. That was his average against was 156.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Marshall. I appreciate you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah. So I found that. So it wasn't quite like the league leader. Still pretty damn freaking good, though. Yeah. You know. So we're making the case here for Class A to win the Cy Young. Get that on. I need T-shirts from Cody, man. I already got some more Brown stuff on order here coming in.
Did you see the newest Guardian shirt they released?
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah.
Now, if you get the reference, you get it. Some people might not get the reference. Yeah. But if you get it, you get it. So do that. Go to bigplay.com, get some merch, wear it to our golf outing on the 31st. We'll see you there. Going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's catch a break. Coming back. Plenty coming up in hour 2. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
That's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky
We should just keep. I mean, we got to take breaks and stuff like that. Ryan and I are talking X-Men because you said what? You went back and you rewatched a lot of the 2000s X-Men. I told you, man, they. You don't think about it. They stand up, man. They're really good.
And, you were just saying right before we got back, Origins, X-Men Origins Wolverine. So good. Ryan Reynolds, good. Deadpool. Oh,
well, again, that was like at the time.
At the time, it was sick.
You're like, dude, we finally got Deadpool. Like, finally.
And Sabretooth was amazing.
Well, that flip of what Tyler Maine's Sabretooth was in the first X-Men to what Liev Schreiber, or no, Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber, yeah.
I almost said Pablo, but he's doing Halo. Liev Schreiber's Sabretooth was much better because it was a little less like dramatic, you know? But yeah, I just liked it because, you got the Blob. What did we get in Origins? We got Gambit. I was hoping that Taylor Kitsch would hold on to that role, but here we are. Origins hits, man. Yeah. It always has. And I think the first couple, like original X-Men, X2, Last Stand, solid. Really freaking solid. You know what I mean? And then like Kelsey Grammer is the beast. Good. Like it all comes back to how do they look? And I think even the newer ones are fine. Like the mutants look all right. But the original ones still hit, man. I'll tell you that all day. Like the original ones still go. We're the original show here coming up on our 1-year anniversary, which is going to be a lot of fun. Do we have a party? Hey, we should celebrate at the golf outing.
Yeah, we should.
It's pretty much going to be
It's going to be right around there.
I'm going to ask Dave and Ken for a cake.
We should go and that'd be sick with our faces on it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Make that happen.
There you go. We'll do that at the golf outing. Even more reason for you to come and join us. Ryan's got the morning update, though. We'll get the latest on Michael Hall as well. Appreciate you joining us. Twitter, X, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. Fontana Show. Take it away, Ryan.
All right, well, we'll start right there with Michael Hall. This actually came out from an article Mary Kay Cabot just 7 minutes ago. Titled Defensive Tackle Mike Hall Jr. is at the Browns headquarters today, preparing to possibly practice, Matt.
Whoa.
Now, this article from Mary Kay says the Browns plan to gather more information and let the legal process play out, meaning they will likely permit Hall to continue practicing. He's scheduled to appear in court again September 10th, 2 days after the Browns season opener against the Cowboys.
Okay, do you know what this sounds like to me? It almost is like, when somebody files an injunction, and I hope, Ryan, that you never have to deal with an injunction, but an injunction is filed in court. So let's just take this Michael Hall situation. But, it doesn't really work because it's football, right? But, like, basically what he is saying, the Browns are going to say, well, we better let him practice. Because if he doesn't practice, then he could, like, sue us for not letting him practice. It's almost like an injunction where you have to let something continue to play on the off chance that this person was actually right. It's like you can't go back and hand them time back. You can't go back and tell them that they're allowed to do something when you told them you couldn't. That's the whole point of injunction. You're not getting that filed here. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's such
like, is he really going to sue the Cleveland Browns and actually have a chance to win that? By the way, you want to for sure that you never play football again? Sue a team over something like that. What I would do is, hey, Mike, we understand the seriousness of what happened here. You can't practice it. Let alone that we're sitting here having the conversation if they should cut him or put him on the restricted list, and now they're going to let him practice? That's a bad idea. At minimum, they should have sent him home for the week. You're done for this week, man. And you're not playing in this game. But then what is the problem, right? Nothing will be resolved next Monday. Nothing will actually be resolved next Wednesday if you send him home for the week or whatever. So I guess that's what they're saying. If nothing's actually going to be resolved on the legal process and nothing will actually be changed, then we might as well let it. I wouldn't have done it. I'd have said, man, you're going to get sent home for the week. You can't practice this week. We'll figure it out later. But yeah, I mean, to each their own. They're obviously navigating a really tough situation in this, and if they think it's best that he practiced, then so be it.
Alrighty, well, good news at least for the Guardians. They win 2-1. They beat the Cubs twice in a row. Matthew Boyd in his Cleveland debut, he goes 5 and 1/3 inning pitch.
On National Left-Handers Day, was it not?
Was it? Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
3 hits, 1 earned run. John Kenzie Noel goes yard in the bottom of the 6th, 430 feet to give the Guardians the lead. That would ultimately seal it. On the mound today for the Guardians, Matt, is Alex Cobb.
Alex Cobb. All right, back-to-back with the new guys. Cobb's first start, not great. We'll get to our plays. I should have played the under yesterday. I knew it. And I didn't do it. I took the Guardians -1.5 because I knew they were going to win. I was feeling really good that they were going to win. And all they did was choke away runs, getting guys into scoring. How many guys did we have left on base yesterday? Seriously. How many guys did we leave on base, let alone in scoring position too? Anyway, I'm just angry. I knew the Guardians were going to win. I should have taken the under. Left on base. They had, I guess that's not that bad. How about... Okay. We were 1 for 8 as a team with runners in scoring position yesterday. Rocchio was the only one, and that was a bunt. Fry, 0 for 2. Quan Jimenez, Bo Naylor, Brennan, and Josh Naylor, all 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position yesterday. That's what makes me sick. That's what pisses me off. But, hey, a win is a win. We'll get back after it today with our plays a little bit later for the Guards and the Cubs' final game of the 3-game set.
All right, well, an injury-riddled offseason continues for the Vikings as tests revealed that rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy does have a tear in the meniscus of his right knee. Final determination will be made later this week by doctors on if he needs surgery.
You hear about, obviously knees and LCLs and PCLs and obviously ACLs, but, you hear a lot of this meniscus stuff. And then there's also just a lot of people that just have their meniscus taken out, right? Or cut because it's, frayed or torn. I don't know what a meniscus is. I know it's supposed to be some sort of padding in your knee, but you got a 21-year-old rookie quarterback that's already getting knee surgery. Probably not good. Probably not good for the Vikings. I liked Bo Nix. Again, I can't remember the draft order that they went in. I want to take a J.J. McCarthy. It's not even me, Michigan hater. I like some of the other quarterbacks in that draft over him. So be it. This is where we're at.
Alrighty, well, ESPN's Chris Lowe released his 2024 college football preseason All-America team.
Can I guess some Buckeyes?
You can guess Buckeye. Just one for the Buckeyes.
Is it Tyleek Williams?
It is not.
Is it JTT?
No.
Is it Emeka Ibuka?
No, you're missing this. You can get it. I thought it was kind of obvious.
Denzel Burke.
No.
What? It's not Quinshon Judkins. It's not Travion Henderson. It's not Will Howard.
No, you're just missing one guy, and you're going to be like, oh, duh.
It's not Jack Sawyer.
No. A transfer.
Oh, Caleb Downs.
There you go. Caleb Downs.
Okay,
Downs might be wearing a New Jersey in 20. This is the write-up.
He
might be wearing a New Jersey in 2024,
fine,
but there's nothing new about his skill set. After a sensational freshman season at Alabama, Downs joins an ultra-talented roster at Ohio State. 6 foot, 205-pound sophomore, led Alabama last year, 107 total tackles and intercepted 2 passes.
I'm telling you, man, I sleep on it. I forget because I'm drunk on Howard and Quinshon Judkins and all that, and you forget, dude, you got Caleb Downs here, too.
Do you want to guess any other positions?
Sure. Okay. I'm not going to probably be very good on it. All right, well, quarterback, I actually don't think it's Quinn Ewers.
No.
It's not. I don't think Jackson Dart. It's not going to be Drew Aller. It's not Carson Beck.
It is Carson Beck.
Is it Carson Beck, really? I guess.
Other notable ones, running back Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State.
I knew that.
Amari Hampton, North Carolina. Wide receivers, Luther Burden, Missouri.
Yeah.
Tetaroy McMillan, sorry about that, Arizona. Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
Yeah.
Offensive line, Will Campbell, LSU. Tate Radgeledge, Georgia. Parker Brailsford, Alabama. Tyler Booker, Alabama. And Calvin Banks Jr. out of Texas.
Ohio State's got a few guys on some award lists. Their center, Ohio State depth chart. I got to pull this. I'm not all into the Buckeyes yet, so I got to figure it out. On the offensive. So first off, there are people that are really excited about Josh Simmons at left tackle. Seth McLaughlin's their center. He's on the Remington preseason award watch list. But again, for most guys, if you play at Ohio State, you're probably on a lot of these lists. Josh Fryer's their right tackle. We'll see. Is G. Scott finally your starting tight end? I think he is. Took him there. He's been there forever. Here's your starting offensive unit for Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Emeka Ibuka, Josh Simmons, Donovan Jackson, Seth McLaughlin, Tigra Shibola at right guard, Josh Fry at right tackle, G. Scott's your tight end, Will Howard at quarterback with Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson at running back, your defensive side of things. Jack Sawyer, Ty Hamilton, Tyleek Williams, who some of the people are starting to say he has now entrenched himself as he was probably already a first-round pick, but might be D-tackle 1 by the time the draft comes around. JTT, your linebackers, CJ Hicks, Cody Simon, who is, again, still there somehow as a graduate. Your defensive backfield, man, how about this? Denzel Burke, Lathan Ransom, who I've always been a big Lathan Ransom fan, but he's just been injuries. Caleb Downs, Davison Igbenoghen, who played a lot last year, and Jordan Hancock, who played a lot last year as your nickelback. That's a pretty stacked, freaking good defense right there, buddy. Yeah, pretty good defense right there. And I forgot about Sonny Styles. They don't even have Sonny Styles listed as a starter. He played a lot last year for the Buckeyes. I like that. As much as I like that offense, man. I like that defense. Ohio State
Silver Bullets
will win the national championship. Should I go place that bet right now?
Well, they're second favorites, so.
I know. It's like there's almost no value in it at this point. And the worst part is those funds are getting a little short for me over there. So we'll figure it out.
Can only make it back by playing.
I can only get it back by today with the Guardians. I'm gonna put that on you. I'm gonna need somebody for the Guardians.
All right, Matt, we're going to end the morning update here. Matt, this is one of the most bizarre stories I think I've seen in quite a while, okay?
Yes.
Very unfortunate, but a doctor died at a Disney Springs restaurant from an allergic reaction after being assured the meal was allergen-free. Now, that was Dr. Kankoporn Tangsuan. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. She died in October of 2023, allegedly because her meal at a Disney World restaurant in Florida contained nuts and dairies, well-known allergens to which she was deathly allergic. Now, I told you in the earlier that she was apparently reassured. Now, rather than contest the facts or litigate the merits of those allegations, Disney wants the case decided by their preferred arbitration organization.
Of course they do.
Now, the company says because Tang Suan's widower signed up for Disney's streaming service and in doing so signed a contract which agreed that any and all disputes with the company would be decided through the use of mandatory binding. So they're alleging because she signed up for
Disney Plus, they have no legal grounds.
Correct. How absurd is that?
So it's like, it's so hard because obviously somebody lost their life. This is terrible, right? But also, like, you know, I have friends that have kids that have allergies. And one of my very, very close friends and his wife, their daughter, has a nut allergy. So when they come over to our house for a birthday party or just whatever, we go above and beyond to make sure that we're all good here, right? Like we want, and also it's like we want the kids to be able to enjoy themselves, right? But again, when I talk with my friend, he asks, what's on the menu? You know, can we serve this? And we always, again, make sure to be nut-free as best as we can. But bro, I can only do so much. I can only read labels, right? I can only go off of what, you know, we're told. The thing is, it's twofold. My friend and his wife are probably going to be in debt for this for a long time with their daughter, and they are amazing parents that go above and beyond to do that because that is unfortunately what they have to do. You know, we don't live in this world where everything is nut or gluten or dairy-free, right? So they have to take it upon themselves. But the other question that I have on this, where was her EpiPen? If you are that deathly allergic, and maybe I'm completely wrong in this, that it would not have saved her life. I don't know. But, like, if you took that, you had any sense that, like, your throat starts closing up, you got problems. Dude, where is your EpiPen in this? Like, again, I'm not absolving Disney of this, but it's like, when that unfortunately is part of your life, you have to take a lot of accountability for it, too. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful that neither one of my kids at this point have any food allergies.
Could you imagine, though, the second you read that, like, they come back to you and they're like, well, you signed up for Disney Plus
you're not entitled. And that's like, and again, what's Disney going to say? You shouldn't have eaten at our restaurants. They try to help you out, or they tell you one thing. You know, it's a sad thing. I wrestled for a lot of my life, and there was a tournament in Columbus that we'd go to, and it was called the Ken Cleveland Memorial Tournament. And unfortunately, Ken Cleveland was a wrestler, and he passed away. You want to know, unfortunately, how he passed away, Ron? He called a Chinese restaurant to order takeout. He said over the phone, I need you to clean your woks out. I can't have any pecans anywhere close. I will get sick and die. Guess what they didn't do, Ryan? And guess, unfortunately, what happened to Ken Cleveland. It sucks. Like, it's terrible. I don't know why that story always struck me, because it's that, like, again, he said to them, clean out your stuff. I have a food allergy. And either they didn't do it well enough or they did. And the thing is, it's sad. What are these people supposed to do? Live in a box? Not do anything? No. And I would say that at least in now, like, I think about this all the time now. My wife was dairy-free when we had kids, right? I don't even know how you could have been dairy-free 20 years ago. Now I go to, there's whole aisles of stuff. It's great. It's awesome. How could you have even been nut-free, dairy-free, all that kind of stuff, and live in a world 20 years ago?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's better, but it's not good enough. Before we get to the grid, update on Michael Hall. This is from Lima, Anthony Lima over at 92.3. He said, a source with Avon PD says they've already been contacted by the NFL to obtain body cam footage of the Michael Hall incident. This is, of course, off of he's in the facility. He might practice today. I got to send this tweet, too. A really bad idea. He can be in the facility, have conversations. he cannot field today. He just can't. He can't. There is no way. He can't be in. Wait, I got the wrong tweet here. He's in the building. Discard. Hang on. I'm trying to find this other thing from Mary Kay. And possibly will practice. This is the one I'm looking for. He's in the building. That's it. He can't practice today, man. There's no way. And again, the body cam footage will be released. The thing is,
the footage, though.
The footage doesn't
gone.
matter.
He's gone.
That's right. He was not at the house anymore.
Right.
And like this is so hard because, again, this is a situation where you have one side of the story and potentially, again, the mother of his child, and her mother was there. Can we get real for a second? Let's get real. There will be pressure on her to not actually indict Michael Hall because they have a child together and she will need the money to take care of that kid. So where we living, man? There will be undue pressure onto her to not tell the truth or to bury this. Or how many times you hear stories about the witness did not come forward or they did not pursue a prosecution because the witness was no longer cooperating, because they understand that there's I would say livelihood at this. But again, does this story change all of a sudden? Will this case get dismissed? Is this something that eventually she will... what really happened? We don't. I doubt there's cameras in the house. Like, we'll never know exactly what happened. So it's what her word is versus what Michael Hall said, which is just in a police report. And sometimes people will dive onto that. Oh, well, Matt, the case was dismissed. Was it dismissed because actually nothing happened, or was it dismissed because this woman is trying to think about how she can provide for her child and she doesn't want Michael Hall kicked out of the NFL because that's money for the whole family? The other thing. Like, again, with how horrendous this example was, I also would like them to reconcile so this child can have parents in there. Like, I keep coming back to the kids, man, and I can't help it. There were kids in that house with a gun that was brandished and put up against somebody else's, another human being's skull. That can't be forgotten. And even if the justice system maybe fails in this, I think maybe, and this is, I don't know if they will or not, look to the Browns to do something here. I think this deserves this. Maybe the NFL steps in, right? They suspended Deshaun Watson. He technically wasn't accused of, or wasn't found guilty of anything. He settled those cases. They still came down hard on him. Now the NFL might get involved. They might have to do something. Vanilla tweets me and he goes, Matt, there's always two sides to every story. And I understand that. And they say one side looks pretty bad. That's why you just wait. Do not let him practice. Let this play out. And if you need the NFL to be the bad guy, so be it. I think at minimum suspension. And I'm not trying to be one of these people that jump on the, hey, man, something happened, instantly suspend this guy, instantly cut this guy. No, I just want to know the truth. We all want to know the truth. And I'm sure the NFL will sit down and maybe speak to the mother of Michael Hall's child, speak to Michael Hall, get the police report, and figure everything else out. And maybe we're just in a holding pattern until then. Maybe we're just in a holding pattern. That's okay. Sorry. Joe's like, dude, I lost my earpiece. And he goes, all I have is my radio in my car.
Well, on good news, Matt, sorry to...
Yeah.
This is a very unfortunate situation, but good news.
No, that's fine.
The Browns have agreed to terms with standout do-it-all linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He gets a 3-year deal worth up to $39 million, $25 guaranteed. The 24-year-old is back to the table.
Well, that's how you turn a story. Getting some PR out there today. Congrats to Jock. Wow. 30 up, wait, again, which is so weird. Up to $39 million. 25 guaranteed over 3 years. What a steal.
Let's go.
Good for Jock. Hey, man, congratulations. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. There you go. 3 years up to 30. And again, 3 years, what's that? I can do that math. That's $11 million a year, right?
That's cheap.
No, that's $33 million. I'm a dumbass. 13 per year?
That's not bad.
That sounds right. At most 13 per year. Let me look. Off-ball linebacker contracts right now. Off-ball. Roquan at 100.
Yeah.
Which, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So an average per year puts him with Patrick Queen. 13 a year, if he gets all of that, puts him as the that puts him as the 6th highest paid linebacker or off-ball linebacker, only behind Roquan Smith, Fred Warner, Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, right behind Patrick Queen. Let me send that tweet out. On Jeremiah, this is so bad to do during the show. I'm really sorry, but I just want to send this tweet.
It's okay.
You should be following me at Matt Fontana 83. Worth up to $39 million. On that, he would be the 5th highest paid off-ball linebacker in the NFL. Right? Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
He'd be going behind Roquan, Fred Warner, Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano, Patrick Queen. There's your 5. There's your 5. And as far as total money goes, let me do this, okay? But in total value, it would also be the 5th highest total value.
I think that's perfect for Jock.
Yep. Both in total and AV average per year. Oh, APY. Not AVP. He's not here anymore. APY. All right, good. Out at Matt Fontana. Congratulations, Jeremiah was score mine. I hope they never use him for the Immaculate Grid other than Super Bowl champion with the Browns and only played for one team.
True.
Can we get that going? Let's go. Immaculate Grid.
Are we still? We're 2 for 2, right? Because Wordle saved us, and then yesterday we got it.
Yes, today Wednesday.
Yeah.
I am so screwed up, man. I keep thinking the word day behind. All right. Ooh, we got the college in here today.
Yeah.
All right. I got some answers just looking at it. Go.
All right, 1,000 yards receiving for the Eagles. We could go A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Did he get it? Did he not? I mean, if not, you want to go Terrell Owens.
He definitely did.
Yeah. Go. Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
We'll use him for the Jets soon, but not yet.
I mean, I don't know if Michael Pittman got it yet.
I think he. I think he did.
But we could probably think of somebody else, right?
Well,
Amon-Ra.
Well, no, no. Yep, that's exactly.
But can we think of anybody else? USC.
Yeah, it's got to be. I know. We'll think about it. Put Amon-Ra St. Brown there, though.
For 1,000 yards?
No, for Lions USC. Unless, can you come up with another USC player quick?
Nah, sorry.
Okay. And then Jets USC. Clay Matthews.
Oh, for some reason I thought I was thinking.
Oh no! I'm sorry. The Packers. I'm sorry. I had my Packers in mind. No, Jets. Take that back. I'm sorry.
I was like, what?
I almost screwed that up bad. No. I the green screwed
Jets
me up.
USC. Is that not Mark Sanchez?
It is Mark Sanchez. Yeah, that's who I was going to say too. Yeah, Mark Sanchez works there too. And then SC receiver.
I mean, I'm just thinking Michael Pittman.
Jordan Addison. Didn't he go to USC?
He's not got 1,000 yards.
He didn't get 1,000 last year?
No way. I don't think. I don't think so.
I don't think Marquise Lee ever got 1,000. I'm just thinking of USC receivers. Marquise Lee. Wasn't there not Justin Blackman? He went to Oklahoma State. Was there a Justin that went to USC that was a 1,000-yard receiver? Now I'm just trying to think of 1,000-yard receivers.
Should we just come back?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Jets, Eagles. Is that Brandon Marshall?
Yeah, I feel like we used him a lot for these.
He played for the Eagles, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Brandon Marshall works 100%.
06 to 18 or 12 to 18?
06 to 18. He had a long career. Did you click the wrong one?
You said 06 to 18.
I did. Yeah. Did that Brandon Marshall not?
Or was
Wait.
it 12 to 18?
No, there's a linebacker and the receiver. The receiver played 13 years. You know where he did not play?
Philly?
The Philadelphia Eagles. Man, we were so...
That's what I said.
we
I
were
said,
so
I said,
wrong.
are you sure he played for the Eagles?
I thought he was too. Damn. Because you know the other answer there for the Jets and the Eagles is actually Mark Sanchez.
Would've worked, yeah.
Ow. All right. Anything else like even worth?
Do we even do this?
Defeat? We could try. I don't know. I'm so defeated.
I don't even want
now.
to, honestly.
You don't even want to. Just click off of it. You want to go to baseball or something? You want to check basketball?
Yeah.
Wait, go down. I want to see USC receiver 1,000 yards. I want to see who the number one guy was.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Duh.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Duh. Oh, Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush for the Lions. I forgot about that. Mark Sanchez we got.
Do we try baseball?
If you want. Click on it.
Does
see
it
what
count for our week?
No, I think we use 2 lifelines. I like where you're at where we can use 1 lifeline. What the hell is this?
Did you say basketball or baseball?
No baseball, but the fact there's no teams in this.
Should we try basketball?
No, I like this one.
All right.
2,000 career hits and a gold glove.
All
right, well, 40-plus career WAR with 2,000 hits.
Trout.
He's not plus 40 yet. He's like 39, I think.
Oh, really?
So it's got to be like Babe Ruth, Ted Williams.
Put Babe Ruth.
Just put Babe Ruth. I mean, it's got to be him. Okay.
300 average, 40 career WAR.
It's got to be Ted Williams. Okay.
Born outside U.S., 50 states, and D.C.
You want to know who first came to mind was Roberto Clemente, but I don't.
Albert Pujols, was he born outside?
Yeah, but does he have a 40-plus career WAR? Come back to that one. All right, 500 career home runs with 2,000 career hits while batting 300. So the 500 list here has got to be, one's got to be A-Rod, the other one's got to be Barry Bonds. Bonds, I know, got 2,000
What about
career
Hank
hits.
Aaron?
What
about Hank Aaron?
Did he have a 300 average, though?
Oh, I don't know. I just meant for 2,000 plus hits.
Okay, do that there. Okay. Because A-Rod had to have had 2,000 career hits and a gold glove, too. So I think you could put Bonds in one of those. You could put A-Rod in the other one.
Did Bonds have a 300 average?
Yes, he had to. Yes, he had to.
You think? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I'm wrong. All right. Okay. And A-Rod, neither one of them had a 300 career average. What are their career averages?
Man.
Bonds finished with 298. My ass. Come on. Did Tony Gwynn have 500 home runs?
No.
I don't think he did. Alex Rodriguez, 295. Come on.
It's chalked.
Yeah. Well, gold glove. Do 2,000 career hits, gold glove.
For who?
Either one, A-Rod or Bonds. They both had a gold glove. Don't even, I was going to say, don't even put them there because we're running out of spots, too. 300 career batting average with the gold glove.
Did Ichiro ever have a gold glove? Had
Yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Born outside the United States in D.C. for a gold glove. I mean, Omar. Don't even bother putting him in there. That's fine.
Oh, don't put him in?
Well, no, because we only have one guest left. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you know that, yeah.
So we know it's Omar.
500 career, born outside. That Pujols?
Yeah. That's got, so don't even bother. Or Miggy.
Yeah.
Right? Miggy's got 500. Right?
I don't know. I don't think he does.
No, because I thought he... Yeah, he's got 5'11". Because remember, he did pass 500. So Miggy, I knew, did. Born outside the D.C. United States for war. Huh. I'm just going to Google it because we're shocked anyway. Career WAR leaders.
Oh, man. This whole thing has been not a good immaculate grid day.
Like, yeah, Babe Ruth has 182 WAR. You know what I'm saying? All right, so 40 and above. Oh, no, Pedro was born in... No, he was born in the Dominican Republic. Pedro would have worked.
I just gave up.
No, I know, but I'm just running through it anyway.
Roberto Clemente for outside the U.S. on 40 career WAR.
Yeah, I figured Clemente had to be there somewhere. I guess, yeah, Mike Trout, 86 career WAR. I don't know what I was thinking. Because, again, it's like a, year after year, year after year, year after year. Old Hoss Radburn,
nice.
75 career WAR. What years do you think Old Hoss Radburn played? Oh, my God, this is the greatest picture of a baseball player I've ever seen in my life. He's got a handlebar mustache with an old school hat. Old Hoss Radburn, pitcher and right fielder, batting through right, 5'9", 168. He was born in 1854 in Rochester, New York. He died in 1897 at just the age of 42. He played from age 25 to 36. He's got a 75-plus career WAR. He played for the Providence Grays for 4 years. Then the Boston... I guess they don't have a name, Boston, for a couple of years before he finished with the Cincinnati Reds in 1891.
Nice.
In pitching... He had a career 2.6 ERA, 2.6 ERA. And I want to find his hitting. Where's his hitting? Maybe he was just a pitcher, but I thought everybody hit back in this day. Old Hoss Radburn. No way. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Old Ross Hadburn. Old Hoss Radburn.
Don't make names like that anymore.
Yeah, I know. That's why I brought it up for you, because I know you love the old names. That's where we're at. Yeah, George Brett, 300 average, 2,000 hits. He also worked for Gold Glove and 300. George Brett would have been all over that list. All right, so we got reaction to JOK. We got reaction to the Michael Hall situation. We got it all. Brian, if there's anything we know about the Browns, it's shown they couldn't care less about how their players treat women. Said it yesterday. If he's not suspended by the league, I expect he'll be active for week 1.
Sobering.
Brown's nihilist on Twitter. I agree that he shouldn't practice today. Guess this isn't high profile enough to get a lot of legal analysis, but if the details we heard yesterday, it didn't sound like a misdemeanor. Have you seen any reporting on it? I mean, yes, there's reporting. It was not a misdemeanor. It was a felony. He got charged with a felony. Pled not guilty, and he's out on bond. So, yeah, I mean, not really much else to get. All right. Do you want to break? Do you want to get right to time hop? Let's do time hop. Let's get right to time hop. We'll get through it today. All right. All right, here we go. We have back on the 14th of August, the date. I got a couple decent television. Actually, all 3 TV shows for you today. Okay. We'll get to that coming up. And I don't know why. Today's a really weird day. I have 3 different Beatles things on 3 different years. It's creepy. August 14th, day of the Beatles, I guess. But it was also the day of Tyler Gilbert, because 3 years ago today, in his major league debut for the Arizona Diamondbacks, he throws a no-hitter. Brian, that was also the 8th no-hitter of the season, which tied an MLB record. I think they surpassed it. That damn ship. What do we have this year? Do we have 4?
You had the Astros dude earlier.
Framber Valdez had one. Almost had another one.
Then you had the dude for, was it? No.
Blake Snell had one. Just had one. Right?
And then some dude was the first one in franchise history for some team.
2024 no-hitters. You've had 3. Dylan Cease threw the first ever one in Padres history.
Dylan Cease.
So again, Ronel Blanco on April 1st beat Toronto. Dylan Cease over Washington, and then Blake Snell just threw one. So you have 3. When again, this day in 2021, you had 8. You had 8 already because of the shift, but that's where we're at. This day, 2020, the Indians sent both Mike Clevenger and Zach Plesac to their alternate training site for their violation of the COVID rules. They sent out the Instagram post. You want to know the funniest thing about all that? They told Clevenger and Plesac to drive to Detroit with all of their stuff on the off chance that they were going to rejoin the team. They came up. 10 minutes later, they said, get back in your car and drive to Lake County. Think about what you did and drive back to Lake County because you're going to the alternate site there in the COVID protocols. Talking about records, this day, 1987, Mark McGwire set the rookie record with 39 home runs. He would then go on to finish with 49. Here's a trivia question.
Okay.
Who has the current record for the most home runs by a rookie in MLB history?
Aaron Judge?
No. Good guess, though. This is recent. He's still very much playing.
Is he still very good?
He's good. I wouldn't say he's as good as he was back then.
Can you tell me what year he set the record?
2019.
Oh.
Do you want the number? He hit 53. 53.
Pete Alonso?
That is correct. Pete Alonso was correct. Right? Not as good as he was. I don't think he ever got back to that, but Pete Alonso has the record this day, 1987. All right, you ready for 3 straight Beatles things?
Yeah.
We start with this day, 1985. Michael Jackson buys ATV Music, including their catalog, which had every Beatles song in it. He bought it for $47.5 million.
Jeez.
10 years later, Jackson would sell just half of that to Sony for $153 million.
Christ.
So you think about, he tripled his money in just 10 years and kept the other half of it, of all the Beatles, which I think is crazy. That, the Beatles, Paul McCartney doesn't own those songs. Now, he gets a stipend and he gets the money.
It's
he
weird.
doesn't own those songs. The record company does.
Very weird.
Very weird. Michael Jackson's catalog. Taylor Swift. Who owns Taylor Swift's catalog?
Wasn't it? It was Scooter Braun.
Was it?
That's why they were beefing, I think.
Oh. Who owns Taylor Swift's albums? Okay. Braun, you're right. Scooter Braun then sold the masters, I guess the master copies or whatever, to Disney's family investment firm Shamrock Holdings for $405 million under the condition that he keeps profiting from them. Why would he sell them then? What, he gets a little piece of it? Now, Taylor Swift owns the rights to her last 8 albums.
Yeah, I
so
think
the
he got it
first
back.
6.
Oh, okay.
Wait, maybe? Hang on. Taylor Swift owns the rights to 8 of her albums. All right, I'm just going to read this from Screen Rant. Taylor Swift has produced hundreds of songs throughout her career, but the singer-songwriter doesn't own every album in her discography. Leading many to wonder which ones does she actually own. Okay. She released several tracks, a re-recorded version, 1989, Taylor's version. Okay. So here's the thing. Isn't this funny? She has re-recorded 2 of her albums. 4 of her albums.
Taylor's version.
So then she owns that. And I'm assuming all the Swifties are probably like, yeah, screw the other one. We're just going to listen to this one and get her money. So these are the ones that she owns. Lover, Folklore, Evermore, Fearless, Taylor's version, Red, Taylor's version, Midnight, Speak Now, Taylor's version, 1989, Taylor's version, and the Tortured Poets Department. So in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She owns 9 of her albums from 2019 forward. But again, I don't think she owns. All right, so of the debate, here's what it is. She got Fearless, 1989, Folklore, and Midnights. She lost Red and Evermore, which she just then re-recorded anyway. I guess is the quick Google on how this all works.
Go off, Taylor.
2019, Scooter Braun purchased the entirety of Big Machine Records, including all of Swift's masters. She said she felt lied and disrespected as Swift had a public personal feud with Scooter Braun. Isn't he a piece of shit?
I've heard.
I don't know that for a fact. I've heard that.
I have heard that he is.
Okay. By re-recording her album, Swift has reclaimed the songs of her early career and added a new dimension to those tracks with more mature voice and style, and of course now can make money off of those. All right, there you go. How'd we get on this? Oh, Michael Jackson bought the Beatles.
Yes.
That's how it's done. All right, next up for the Beatles. They played Cleveland Municipal Stadium this day, 1966. As I saw this as the first ever rock concert at Municipal Stadium. 66, I guess, kind of makes sense. It was before The Who and Led Zeppelin and all that other kind of stuff. The gates were stormed by fans, causing a 30-minute delay while order was restored at Cleveland Municipal Stadium.
Yeah, the Beatles will do that to you.
The Beatles taped their appearance for the Ed Sullivan Show this day, 1965.
Nice.
Yeah, I think vaulted them into what they are today. This day, 1959, the first ever meeting of the AFL. Charters were handed out to Dallas, New York, Houston, Denver, L.A., and Minneapolis, St. Paul. This day, 1959. This day, 1958, Cleveland Indian Vic Power stole home twice in one game. Can't tell you last time somebody stole. Well,
Jose Ramirez.
Jose did. That's right. Jose stole home. That's right. This day, 1945, the Empire of Japan surrendered to Allies, effectively ending World War II. Very happy birthday goes out to Hall of Famer Earl Weaver, Rusty Wallace, Magic Johnson, Mike Vrabel, Tim Tebow, Cleveland's own Johnny Gargano, Halle Berry, Doc Holliday, David Crosby, Steve Martin, and Mila Kunis.
Nice.
It's a solid day of birthdays right there for you. All right, we start 3 for you today on the television. There are no movies. They're all TV shows for you today.
Okay.
So we start a television show that debuted this day, 2020. Is
that all I get?
Well, I didn't know if you might be able to get it.
2020.
2020. So think pandemic.
Is it like a Netflix show?
Yes.
Do I get a little more?
I mean, I guess. I thought you might be able to get it.
2020. I mean,
2020, it's already over. They did a short, succinct 4 seasons, and they're done.
Ozark?
No. Good guess, but no. Actually, this show might not have been on Netflix.
Bruh.
It was on a streaming service. It was on a streaming service. That's right, because it was on Apple TV. That's right. So you know.
Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso was correct.
Bruh.
Ted Lasso is correct. Sorry. I love Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
we watched
good.
the whole thing.
So good.
It was very good.
It's so good.
And I also, they cut it at like the right time.
I haven't
like,
seen the newest one.
Well, it's good. It's solid. You're going to cry. I cried at the end of it. It was like, there was everything gets tied up. Everything. So if you watched any of the last season?
No.
No. So you know that Nate left.
Yeah.
And he's on the other team.
Yeah.
That gets figured out. Rebecca gets figured out. Roy and Keely. There's like a little twist to Keely in this series or in this season that people don't really like. That gets figured out. Something happens with Jamie. That gets figured out. There's a really good episode. Yeah. There's a really, really great episode with Coach Beard. The whole season is great. That might be my favorite episode.
Nice.
You'll get there. He goes off the reservation. It's awesome. Well worth the watch, the final season of Ted Lasso. So there you go. All right, final one. Ironically, these are both released on the same day. So I said final one, but you have 2. Both day 2000. This day 2000. 2 different TV shows released. First up, a kids television show. Animated.
Hey Arnold.
No.
Rugrats.
No, way early or way late for Rugrats.
Is it Nickelodeon?
I think so. Yes. Right?
Invader Zim.
No.
Rem and Stimpy.
Nope.
Cat Dog.
Nope. I loved Cat Dog, man. There's been several different incarnations of this show.
Dora
the Explorer's
Let's
correct?
go.
I was going to say she tries to stop a certain person on her show from consistently stealing things. Yeah. Swiper, no swiping. Kids ever watched Dora?
I have. I watched a lot when I was a kid.
It debuted, the 14th of 2000. Dora the Explorer is correct. All right, this one I don't know if you'll get, but it's an interesting one. This was a game show that debuted this day 2000. It had a short run. There's been several revivals, but nothing will ever be the same as the original host of this show. It started as a British television show. And actually, I think this was the debut on the British side of things. And it was a short-lived run. Only 4 seasons on NBC. But it was very famous for its style of the game show. And the host had a very succinct tagline.
Very succinct tagline. Is it something like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Kind of, but no. Again, it started because Who Wants to Be a Millionaire skyrocketed, right? So then they were like, all right, we need more game shows. So they brought this over from Britain. A team of contestants try to reach and bank a set of target dollar amounts within the set time limit by completing a chain of correct answers.
Oh. Link? Is it like linked?
I'll give it to you. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Weakest link.
The weakest link is correct. So remember,
there's one now. There was with Jane Lynch.
I know. That's the revival of Jane Lynch, where it would be like, if you mean, I just saw Drennan because he walked up. So it's like, give me somebody who had 500 home runs. And I say Barry Bonds. And you say Alex Rodriguez. And then Drennan says, then you go bank. But if he screws it up, then you go back to 0. And then they went around and they would vote somebody off?
Yeah.
Because they're like, dude, you're an idiot and you're messing up all of our money out.
They would tell you X banked the most money.
Yeah.
X got the most answers right.
Right.
X
yes.
got the least answers
that's right. That's right. God, who is the original host? 'Cause I think she passed away. No, wait, not that. No. Ann Robinson. Oh, she's still alive. Thank God. I didn't mean to put that on her. But she was the one. She had that look, and she was, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Of all those games, I loved Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, that's
I loved that show. I had the video game at home, like on my computer. Used to play all the time. Good time. Good time. All right, well, speaking of winning, we better do it tonight with the Guards. Let's go. We're back in action tonight. We do have Alex Cobb on the hill. The interesting thing for tonight, let me get a show over to Trent here. Trent, 640. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, my God, that's the NFL. Every time I click on the NFL, I'm like, we're not playing the Twins today.
How about this?
Cleveland, Minnesota.
Browns now have 13 players making at least $10 million per year. That breaks their tie with the Eagles for the most in the NFL.
Well, there you go. Cubs on the hill, or I should say Cubs taking on tonight. Jameson Taillon. Did he pitch for the Tigers? We've seen him before. Guardians a favorite, minus 145. Over under 8.5 for tonight. Obviously, Alex Cobb, he's only got the one start to his name. There's not much to get into with that. 4 2/3, give up 4 runs. What are you going to do? Taillon in his last 3 starts, a win, no decision, and a loss. He went 5, 6, and only 1 inning. I'm sorry, I'm such an idiot. 5 innings, 6 innings, 4 1/3. He's given up 5, 1, and 6 earned runs. So he's given up 12 earned runs over his last 3 starts. He's pretty consistent, though. 4 strikeouts in each of his last 3 starts. Cubs have lost 2 out of his last 3 starts. What do you like for tonight?
A big Christmas home run.
I can't do it again, man.
Yeah, you can. You can do it again.
This is what I'm going to do. Jameson Taillon, man. Do you like over the 8? Do you think Alex Cobb's got some magic? I mean, Boyd shut them down.
Super low scoring yesterday. So
I know.
But so was the first game.
Yeah. Guardians minus a 1.5 again. You know, I get drunk on that. You know, I love it. We're dues. I really should just bet both teams minus a 1.5. Somebody's going to win by more than one. Right?
I mean, they won by 1 yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. So we're due for a multiple one. Do you think they get after Jamison Tyone? 8-6 on the year with a 3.5 ERA. Can I get you his last couple of starts against the Guardians? His last 3 starts, each of which have been over the last 3 years while he was pitching with, I'm assuming, Detroit. He has 2 losses. There's a decision, a win, and a loss. His last time he pitched against the Guardians, last July, he took the loss going 5 innings, giving up 4 earned runs. Guardians won 6-8. Before that, 2022, he got a 4-1 win when 5 innings, gave up 1 run. And before that, he lost to us back in 2020, 7-3. I'm going to take Guardians minus a 1.5. Give me a hit. Lane Thomas didn't play yesterday. Quan? Actually, wait a minute.
Big Christmas home run.
I'm not doing that, man.
Come on.
He ain't going to do it again.
All right.
He ain't going to do it again.
I'll remember you said that.
Jamison Tyone, right hand. I don't know about Lane Thomas. All right, I'm going to go Quan hit. Guardians minus a 1.5 gets me up to plus 200. Do I go under? Strikeouts, Cobb, 5, 4, 4. Gets me to 320. All right. 15. 15?
Put 150 on it.
No.
You can get your Xbox.
No. We lost that bet already, buddy. We already did. All right, bets are in. We'll go Guardians minus a 1.5, Quan hits, and 4 strikeouts or more for Alex Cobb. Wait to see on this news when it comes to Michael Hall, if he's going to practice today or not. I think that's a really bad idea. I'd sit him down for the day, trying to find out more information. They're trying to get body cam footage. I don't know exactly what that'll mean. And this whole process got to play out. Congratulations to Jeremiah Wusu-Cormo and his new contract. Guards get it done tonight. Drennan tonight as well, right here on Big Play. Appreciate your support. Again, following on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. We're on Instagram, Twitch, and as well on YouTube. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.